crowd comes down. I was saying you must be running on fumes at this point. David, thank you so much for waking up this morning and making time for
I'm great. I get to hibernate for 6 months coming up, so I don't have to do anything. I'm good.
All I got to say is now Stephen A. has some backup over on his side. He's going to need it.
Just let me know what you need.
Man, please, I always need it. Go ahead. I always need it when it comes to college football. It's your show. Go ahead.
Let's get into it. Bama prevails. What was your biggest takeaway, though, from last night?
Biggest takeaway. See, I think this is interesting. I think I got two things that are big. One, Deshaun Watson's the best player on the planet, and that was abundantly clear to me because that's the best defensive front seven I've ever seen. And for him to be that good and to have Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and those guys to have no answer, I was absolutely blown away by that. Also, that Nick Saban has more stones than I thought he had. I mean, unbelievable onside kick, tie game, late in the game, and he has the ability to pull that out of his pocket.
Well, kind of late.
So,
10 minutes and 40 seconds left, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, but still, it's one thing to draw that up, and it looks great, but it's another thing when it's a tie ball game and it's go time to pull that out of your pocket to do an onside kick like that. So I was pretty blown away by that.
I tried to tell Skip that, but he didn't want to answer. All right, go ahead.
What was your Skip?
Do you want to do yours, or you want me to go?
Go ahead, man.
David Pollack, my biggest takeaway, and you did play defense at the highest level. Georgia, NFL, Bengals. So you're going to get what I'm talking about, I hope. I thought Clemson's defense was pretty good because in defensive efficiency nationally, it was number 2 to Alabama's number 1. I watched a lot of Clemson defense, and I did not see any of the breakdowns, the absolute busted coverages that I routinely saw last night that ended up blowing what I thought was the greatest performance by a losing player I have ever witnessed in any sport. I've never seen anything like that before, to your point, where he did everything humanly possible. I know he threw the one pick early, and it hurt a little bit.
Too. 14-7,
it was a big one. I got it. But still, he is human, and his mentality is he knew he had to do a little more than was actually human to try to get them home, and he almost pulled it off. But when you start busting coverages to a kid, to a tight end who we all thought was massively talented coming out of high school, who's basically been a ghost in that offense this year. Had O.J. Howard had 33 catches for
0 touchdowns.
Yeah, and 0 touchdowns. He had 208 yards last night, a national championship game record. He had 394 for the whole year. And they were busting coverages, 53 yards touchdown, 51 yards touchdown, and then the little quick out to him that set up the clinching touchdown.
They threw behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, threw behind the line. Yeah. And again, you brought up the point, which was my point, that Mackenzie Alexander is out. So does it cripple your secondary? I don't know, but they missed 2 easy perimeter tackles and let him loose up the sideline for 63 yards. You cannot do that.
I'm not saying this just to defend Stephen A. Just for the record, my tape.
It's all right if you do, though.
my tape before the game, one of my tapes was on Clemson's defense and busted coverages all year long.
I didn't see like that.
Communication issues with them all year long. Okay. Now listen, they weren't always taken advantage of. Oklahoma game, they turned guys loose 2 or 3 times. I'm sitting there looking at the tape and I'm going, these guys are so talented, they're so good, but they continue to cut guys loose, and it drives you crazy because Venables is aggressive, and from the Oklahoma days, and he's aggressive. He wants to bring pressure. They're going to play man, but when they don't and they sit back, sometimes it's almost like they get a little bit confused. And those busted coverages, I think you could also make the case that Clemson was better. I mean, I think if you made that case, it'd be tough because all of Alabama's offense came from huge plays, and it was mistakes that Clemson made.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I tried to point out to Skip earlier, and I was saying this, the reason why the onside kick was such a momentum shift for me, I'm saying imagine yourself sitting back if you're looking at Alabama and you thought they were going to win, which I thought. You're thinking about it like, Deshaun Watson, my God, somebody stop this guy. How you going to stop this guy? Keep the ball away from him. Do something. Even when Alabama scored, you didn't find yourself celebrating like, all right, here we go. What you found yourself doing was like, all right, damn. How they going to stop this kid? Yep. And I'm saying anything that got the ball out of his hands and put you in a position where you could have have some kind of advantage where it put him and Clemson on their heels was an incredible emotional relief. Hat got to be for the football players, because for fans watching, if you're rooting for Alabama, you're sitting back and saying, you have to keep the ball away from Deshaun Watson. How in God's name are you going to stop this kid? That's why I thought the onside kick was so big.
Yeah, and Nick said that after the game. He's like, I didn't think I could stop. I didn't think we could stop him. We were looking tired. But think about that, guys. First of all, Clemson's offensive line is okay. It's not great.
Right.
Their receivers are okay. Their best receiver, Mike Williams, got hurt first game of the season. Yep. He's a first-round draft pick. He's a difference maker. He would have made a big difference.
Yeah.
And then the other kid, Kane kid, they dismissed him. Yeah, they sent him home.
This is all about number 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's all him.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're talking about 4 guys that are going to be drafted in the first round for Alabama on defense. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense how one guy can do that. But he controls the pass rush, because as a pass rusher, I wanted to get there as fast as I could to the quarterback. You can't do that with him, because as soon as you come around the end and you give him a crease, he runs it right at the gut. So then you want to rush him and you want to just keep him in the pocket. And then he's making plays with his arm. So, yeah, he's and not only that, the kid. If you get to know the kid, I mean, his story and his background and his poise and his confidence and belief and just soft-spoken. He never gets rattled. Nothing ever bothers him. It was an amazing performance from Deshaun
I told
Watson.
you yesterday, Deshaun is such a cool customer, such a shrewd operator. He's so slick. He doesn't look like he's playing fast. He doesn't look that quick until you look at the results and you say, they can't get a hold of him. He is out-quicking people while not looking like he's playing very fast, right?
So judging from your response and his response, you picked Clemson and he picked Alabama yesterday?
Okay. Yeah. But I picked only because of Deshaun.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And I feared Clemson only because of Deshaun. But I will tell you, I want to take a moment to give Coker some love, too. I mean, that 38-yard hookup, you know, Darius
that was before the onside. That was set up a field goal.
And I just said, but I'm talking about the one in the fourth quarter as well, because Coker.
But you're talking about 3rd and 11, he threw to Stewart.
Exactly.
That set up the field goal that tied the game.
That's right.
Okay.
That was the best throw of the night.
That was the best throw of the night.
And
he did throw for over 300 yards. Give him some credit. Give him some credit today.
I'll give him some credit, but
he's not Deshaun Watson.
The degree of difficulty for him was just way, way, way down compared to. But that throw to Stewart, it was an out and up. It was a double move. He's got Boulware coming in on there, smacking him in the face, and he threw it before he didn't even finish the out, more or less the up, and he put that right in the breadbasket. They go down, kick a field goal, tie it up, then they do the onside. That was huge.
Quickly, one more piece of credit for Coker. This play is getting no love.
The scramble?
The little 3rd and 3 at the 6-yard line late. He's got to make a guy. I don't know who it was. Came free. He's got to make a guy.
Who had all the sacks.
Yeah. He's free, and he made him miss and dives over the line for the first down to set up the clinching touchdown. And because Deshaun went the other way and scored, if they get held, if he gets tackled there. Field goal. Okay, now you got a whole different story at the other end. Okay.
Yeah, that was a heck of a scramble.
No question. There we are. No question. That was huge. That was the play of the game to me, as it all turned out.
Yeah, and Dodd had been harassing him all night. And Coker's shown ability. He's a good athlete. Now, the first half, he also held on the ball. I mean, I don't know.
Too much.
I don't know if he was trying to bake a pie or something, but it wasn't good.
That's why I felt the need to bring up his name now, because I was so critical of him watching him in the first half. Because the one thing that turned me off about him was his pocket awareness. I mean, he was holding on to the ball entirely too long, and he literally seemed surprised when he got hit. It was like, you do not see the pressure coming? What's the matter with you? Get rid of the damn football. So it was nice to see him turn things around in the second half. He really was. But he is no Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is something special, and when I consider the way the NFL game is played in this day and age, this guy could do something. I'm looking at him, and I'm not just fantasizing about him coming back, probably winning a national championship for Clemson. I'm thinking about him on the next level. He's something special.
Okay, now, last quick point on the onside. Why I think it's being overrated as the turning point of the game. 10 minutes and 34 seconds left. Just before that, Clemson had driven the ball to Alabama's 40, 1st and 10 at the 40, and they stonewalled them. No points. So, to me, again, I'm rooting for Clemson. I'm thinking the Alabama defense is hanging in there pretty well. So I didn't sense any desperation on the part of Alabama. It worked because nobody thought it was coming. It didn't feel desperate enough with 10:34 to go to be the time when you need an onside kick. Nobody sees it coming. And the little kid from Poland, little Adam Griffin, what a sweet kick that was. Listen, he led him like he was a receiver to hit him right in the hands. So that's what made the play even greater than Nick's decision. But remember, they only get the ball at the 50 2 plays later, another bust. And O.J. Howard just runs free. Nobody covers him. He was a ghost all year, and they treated him like a ghost in this game. Another touchdown. That's the 31-24 touchdown. Then from that point on, remember, 24 all at the onside kick.
Yeah.
The final score is 45-40. It swung back and forth the rest of the way. So I can't put it all on that was the turning point of the game, because Deshaun had a chance. He came right back and he threw a ball in the end zone to tie the game.
I think Clemson wins this game. Remember, they're up 3 before this pass to Stewart that we just talked about. They're up 3. They get the ball at the 50.
They did.
Deshaun Watson goes to hand it to Gallman. He fumbles the football. It gets him a 4-yard loss.
Yep.
Alabama holds them. They punt. Then that pass to Stewart. Then the field goal. If they go up 10 and Coker has to pass the ball and you know he's going to throw the football,
they're going to win.
They're not going to win the game. Clemson could have won the game early in the fourth quarter. If they go up 10, it's a wrap.
I'm with you.
David, we appreciate your time, your insight, and vacation starts today.
Dang right.
Much deserved.
Like
Enjoy
right
your
now?
time with your
I got a couple
family.
more shows.
A couple more things. Give it up for David.